Hello and welcome one final time on the opening day of the Hero Junior World Cup. It's a Pool C encounter that we have for you from the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium. The stadium named after one of India's greatest legends and perhaps one of the legends of the game. And it's the home side India who will be taking on Netherlands in this fabulous Group C encounter, Pool C encounter that we have for you. Crowds have made their way across to the National Stadium and now the teams are making their way through as well. In their distinctive orange are the home side, in a sense, for this fixture, Netherlands. And that's why India are forced to wear their away colours of white. But tell you what, their fans will not mind if it's blue or if it's white, as long as the scoreline is just right. I'm Divine Sen in the commentary box. Alongside me is former Indian coach Cedric D'Souza. Cedric, very, very good evening to you.
Good evening, Divine. It looks like a cracker this evening because the Netherlands came second in the last World Cup. India, although came ninth in the last World Cup, are playing really well in this last year. With so many players playing in the senior team, it looks like it's going to be a real cracker today.
The teams and the officials being introduced to Jan Albers, who's the chief guest for the day, the FIH Executive Board member. And of course, while it has been a day of much celebration, it has also been a day of a little bit of sadness, in fact a lot of sadness and grief all around the world. Remembrance of an icon, the late, great Nelson Mandela. And in memory of him, we'll just observe a minute's silence. Remained a lifelong sports fan and no doubt would be watching from somewhere up there. At the moment, the national anthems of the two teams. always a special moment, this, and especially on the eve of such an important game for the national team. The crowd is just even further ready to get behind them and egg them on to come up with a great performance against a formidable opposition. Netherlands perhaps might be a little short in terms of their experience at the highest level compared to their Indian opponents, but they're not short on quality. That is something that can never be said about a Netherlands side. So some last moment pleasantries between the two teams, and here's a look at the Netherlands lineup for ourselves. The goalkeeper Piet Noordam, but really the bulk of the work will be done by number 10, the skipper Roel Bovender, and Dieder van Puffelen, as well as Mark Rijkers are also names to watch out for, and Pepijn Luiks with a lot of experience up front too. They are coached, of course, by this man, Sjoerd Marijn, and also will be helped by the presence of Royce Evers as manager.
Well, you know, they've got experience in the management of the Netherlands team. Royce Evers is well aware of the conditions in India.
And some quality names in this lineup for the Indians. Number 7, Manpreet Singh, has been in the headlines in the last few years. Very, very good up-and-coming player. And watch out also for the top scorer from the recent Sultan of Johor Cup, Ramandeep Singh, number 31. As also Mandeep Singh, who incidentally played in the Hockey India League under this man, Greg Clark, and made the Rhino salute quite famous. Let's see if he can reproduce that magic. They certainly did in the Sultan of Johor Cup.
Well, Greg Clark and Baljeet Saini are both doing a great job for India. The team has really gelled into a fine unit. They're getting into the groove, and this is all about waiting for this tournament. I think India start as favourites in this game too.
That is a big, big call, but we'll definitely go along with that. And in a match with two good teams, you also need a good team of officials. The officials for today: Tim Pullman from Australia and Peter Wright from South Africa. Two very, very experienced umpires, and will be expected to do a great job today as well. Netherlands runners-up from the previous edition in 2009, which was held in Johor Bahru and Singapore. Co-hosts lost to Germany 3-1 in the final. It's the Dutch who get things moving, playing in orange from left to right, and up against them in white are India. Also met in Singapore during that Junior Hockey World Cup in 2009, and on that occasion Netherlands ran out winners by a very, very narrow 3-2 margin. Some early chasing of the ball, unable to keep it quite in play is Akashdeep Singh, the lanky forward. As first look at Peter Wright. It's confirmation of the officials.
Look at the first 30 seconds, the ball is moving so fast, the speed of the ball is really fast, and this is what the difference between...
There's a near opportunity there, and just taking a little extra second there, Imran Khan, to perhaps compose himself before going for an attempt. By that time, the whistle had already been blown.
It was a bad bounce actually for Imran. Otherwise, he'd hit the ball, you know, with the tomahawk shot. Unfortunately for him, it bobbed up, and well, a chanceman are begging.
Cedric, inside the first 60 seconds, it is pretty obvious that Netherlands are not just facing the 11 men out there, but also that 12th man invariably comes into play at the Major Dhyan Chand Stadium every time India plays. The crowd nicely getting behind the home side, as it should.
Well, you know, it's great that the last couple of years you've got a lot of tournaments in India, and the crowd has got his money's worth.
This is another player whose money's worth as well. The captain, Manpreet Singh, was looking to bulldoze his way through, but eventually dispossessed. Netherlands will be much more at ease, provided they have possession, especially in midfield. They have the ability to move things forward quite rapidly on their own. Tim Pullman joining Peter Wright as the two umpires. This is looking very promising from the Netherlands' perspective, and it's the opening goal. Wow, that's a way to get the crowd quiet. The first decent move, and they convert it into a goal.
But if you look at the width, they use the width of the pitch completely. A great deception by number 12 of the Netherlands, Bos Pele, and then a great deflection ball into the net.
That is a fantastic finish by Milan van Baal.
I think the most important thing was the width they used, and the ball was traveling so fast, and also they didn't waste time when they got the ball into the last quarter.
This tells you that the Indians will not have it their own way. They will have to play well to try and get a good result out of this particular match. This one was hit more in hope rather than any realistic ambition of finding Ramandeep. He's certainly a danger man from the Indian perspective moving forward. There's a few men, in fact, in the Indian lineup. One, in fact, starting from the bench, Mandeep Singh, who has a happy knack of getting goals every time he's put on the pitch.
Well, he's what I call a poacher. He waits at the far post and just tips the ball inside. He's got an uncanny knack of getting in the right time into the right space.
A turnover in midfield. Could this prove to be pivotal for the Indians? Moving forward quite nicely. Talvinder Singh has got the first penalty corner for the Indians.
And that's what it's all about, you know, getting into the circle and finding a foot when you're under pressure. He moved one way and just dumped the ball into the foot of the Dutch defender.
Johannes Mui there, and just found it a little bit difficult to cope with. That's what the Indians will definitely do all evening long. They will charge at the Dutch goal in good numbers, and it's those onslaughts which will have to be watched out for. Ramandeep Singh will mostly be the man moving forward, but this time he'll be the injector.
Well, India's got a double battery, and we've got Sukhmanjit in first battery and Amit Rohidas in the second battery. So, you know, it's going to keep the Dutch guessing, but I think Sukhmanjit is going to take the flick.
Greg Clark has a few options at his disposal. He hasn't started, of course, with Gurjinder Singh, who's in a way perhaps the best drag flick specialist, but he has gone with the best 11. It's Ramandeep's injection. It is Sukhmanjit, but the first runner doing a great job. Brave defending.
Well, he charged down very well, and it went off his stick. I think the ball came a little bit slow, you know, from the push out.
That's the skipper doing the job himself, and that's one way of leading from the front. Roel Bovendet. That went across the face of goal and nearly found one of the Indian men across. This was that penalty corner attempt. It was a rasping shot, but as Cedric did point out, took a while before it went through to Sukhmanjit. That extra split second just worked in the favor of the Dutch. Leading by a goal to nil. Early goal, which has just silenced the crowd a little bit. Remember, there's more than just bragging rights on offer here. The victory will definitely prove to be pivotal, because Korea have got off to a great start in this group as well. Went down on his backside, but did well to recover Leon Heminga, but eventually giving the ball away to the Indians. This is Ramandeep Singh yet again. All the way to the left to Kotajit Singh, who's also very, very impressive young player. Impressed one and all, especially during the last Hockey India League. Since then has had a few outings with the senior Indian team as well. In fact, a lot of players in this team have been given that deliberate exposure, including the captain, Manpreet, on the ball. Getting some support here from Talvinder. Clearing the lines, Malak Singh. Here goes Pradeep Moore.
The Dutch are not pushing too many up in numbers. They're holding back because they know the Indians are very good on the break. And they've got skillful forwards too. So what they're doing is they're keeping four-man defense all the time, with rigid man-to-man marking.
How critical could that early goal prove to be, not just in context of this first half, but in the overall result? But yes, at the moment, Netherlands definitely looking like they are wary of the way that India are moving forward. One thing's for sure, this young Indian team, as they showed at the Sultan of Johor Cup, which they eventually won, it was not just the fact that they won, but the manner of victory, which showed that this is a team which always has goals in it. Beat England 2-1, Argentina 3-2, Pakistan 4-0, 6-1 against Korea, and 3-3 against Malaysia before beating Malaysia once again in the final 3-0. So it's a team which is quite comfortable scoring goals. That first one needs to come first. Pradeep Moore nutmegging the Dutch player in front of him.
But Divine, you know, the Indian team has had so much exposure, and these boys have played so much of international hockey in terms of the senior team too. They've had the rigors of international hockey in terms of the top level. So for them, this should be much easier than what they have at the senior level.
Barring the scoreline, of course, which is in favour of Netherlands, this has been pretty much the way we would have expected it to be, like two heavyweight boxers just sussing each other out. Unfortunately, the big blow thus far has come from the Dutch, but don't count on the Indians just yet. Amit Rohidas. Can't quite keep it in play, Talvinder. Happy with the way things have begun for his team, Coach Marine. This is better from the Dutch perspective. A lot of possession of the ball. The last few passes that they've provided, they can't keep it in play.
Well, the strength of the Dutch is to hold the ball and keep possession as much as possible. And you know, when they get the ball, they have this last, you know, they penetrate to the circle straight through a straight line without moving wide. You know, they just go straight into the circle, and that's how they got their first goal.
It's India now who go looking for that first goal of theirs. Mandeep Singh now on the pitch. Outstanding young talent. Caught everybody's eye with his performances in the Hockey India League. 10 field goals, the most by any of the players, even though in the eventual list of top scorers he was second. And frightening to imagine that he's still a very, very young man. Just 18 years of age, in fact. Johannes Nui on the ball now. One of the more experienced defenders in this team. The defense will need to be solid from Netherlands' perspective, and that's why you would have to say it's been quite on the spot.
But if you look at it, whenever they come into the pockets, the first thing they do is they get someone on the baseline always, the Netherlands. It stretches the Indian defense, that's what they're trying to do. But what's really good to see is whenever they play the ball wide, they look for the direct route to the circle. That's what is really good about of the Netherlands team. But India has so much of depth. They should come back, you know. India should come back.
At the moment, the goal scorer has been left with a bloodied nose. Milan Van Baal has got a big gash somewhere between his eyes.
I think he's got cut on the eyebrow.
That had to hurt. That was a sickening blow.
Well, there's blood on the pitch now, and they'll have to clean the pitch before they start the game again.
This was that moment, tremendous moment from him. Just catching the Indian defense napping. The only time that it's happened thus far, but it's paid dividends. And it happened inside the first 3 minutes. That's what really took everybody by surprise. Before the audiences had almost found the back of the seat, virtually.
Well, Dibayan, if you look at it, there were two people on the far post waiting for that ball to just tip the ball inside. And that's what Western hockey is all about. You know, they just keep, they come into the circle and they have people always waiting. They have players waiting at the far post always for a deflection or a tip in.
Just getting rid of those spots where a little bit of blood has spilled over. Milan Fanpal. Goal scorer off the pitch, and not too sure if we'll see him again shortly, but at the moment the Indians sportingly giving possession away to the Netherlands. Chance for the Orianye to build from the back once again. They've been in this competition a little bit of eternal bridesmaids of sorts. Maybe looking to correct that anomaly this year. Could this be the one? 2013. India coming on the attack and do get a free hit. Not too far away from where the action is. Oh, superb bit of skill from Akashdeep. And a reverse shot which hits the Dutch defender and leads to a penalty corner. Positive intent shown by the Indians, which pays dividends in the end. Can they take full advantage of this now?
There was a great turn of skill by Akashdeep, who moved into the circle. The ball came loose to actually Harjeet, who took a shot at goal, reverse hit shot at goal, and then stayed into the Dutch defender's foot, and a penalty corner. And you've got Gurjinder up now with Amit in top of the circle. Gurjinder has got a big reputation and hopefully deliver.
Yes, he's had his share of struggles in terms of his battles with fitness, but one thing's for sure, this man can hit the ball hard when it comes to penalty corners. Watch out for his drag flicks. Here goes Gurjinder! It's back on level terms. It's a trademark raised hand in celebration from the youngster from Punjab. Outstanding finish yet again.
Well, it was a very powerful drag flick. He really whipped that flick inside. The Dutch had a different game plan. If you look at, they've got two on the line. And he had absolutely no chance to touch that ball or to halt that ball or deflect it off.
He knew all along, as soon as the ball was trapped nicely for him, he knew that there was only one destination for that ball to land up in. So now with the crowd nicely warmed up, 1 goal apiece, India on the attack. Could there be more in the running? Imran Khan looking for a reverse hit, but possibly more as a cross to begin with. Not able to make a substantial connection with it.
It was a nice pass to Imran, and I think, you know, the ball just moved a bit too far away from him before he took the shot at goal.
Is the man who's got the goal, but the previous attempt from another customer who's very, very tricky to deal with, isn't he, Imran, with his pace?
A lot of space for the Dutch at the moment. Number 14, Nicholas Leers.
Crowd likes it. Eventually getting the ball away. That's what was important there from Gurjinder. But that goal will just bring a lot of confidence back to the Indian ranks. Must be said, they didn't seem too fazed by the fact that they went a goal down. always better to have a scoreline reading 1-1 rather than 0-1, which it was for the first 12 minutes of this match. Never count out the Dutch. Here comes Tom Hebendahl, getting some support from Leon Heminga. Good pressure though from the Indians, forcing the Dutch to go back and build again from their own side of the pitch. Kothajit. Exciting talent from Manipur. Akashdeep was looking to slap this one across, and there were a couple of players in good positions. Just couldn't bring it under the control though.
Well, there was a lot of width in the Indian attack, and nice cross ball by Akashdeep, but Ramandeep failed to trap on top of the circle.
That earlier pass that Cedric was alluding to. Just needed a little bit more control from Ramandeep, and that could have been trouble for the Netherlands defense. They've definitely got to be careful of the three-pronged attack that India often bring to the table. Akashdeep moving forward with Ramandeep, and Malak also on the pitch now. Very dangerous customer. Nicely trapped by Van Puffelen. Amit Rohidas, vice captain of this team. Somebody who's known in many respects, along with Manpreet Singh, as somebody with a bright future in terms of leadership.
I think it was a fantastic interception by him because the Dutch had looked for the through ball deep in the circle, and Amit did a great job by getting a stick and flicking the ball away.
Once again, the Indians on the move, going forward, but a rare error this time from Talwinder. Just getting a little caught up with flat feet. Inducing an enforced error, but there's an opportunity now for Netherlands to build on something of their own. But yet again, Amit Rohidas gets in the way, throws a spanner in the works.
If you look at the Dutch, they're playing down the right side, predominantly down the right side, looking the width of the pitch, and you see the leading by the strikers.
This is a great move. It had everything going in it. There were sticks flying around. There was a lot of action going on.
But I think Harjo did very well in goal to have been able to intercept that ball. There was a Dutch player lurking at the far post.
And it's just that kind of game, isn't it? One would expect Harjot in the Indian goal as well as Piet Noordam in the Dutch goal to have a lot to do today. High quality attacking sides, with India looking to post a fresh attack now. Talwinder Singh hasn't quite found his radar yet today. A few of his passes have been a little bit wayward, but importantly does win a lot of balls in midfield. Just showing that he's a very clever player, getting into a position where it was virtually impossible to get the ball off him unless there was an obstruction. But this is a poor pass. It's gone straight to Dutch possession, and they make the most of it. Not enough orange shirts, I'm afraid, though. Pradeep Moore has seen a lot of the ball, bounces into defense and wins balls and makes sure that he gets attacks moving immediately. Captain Manpreet all the way back to the goal scorer, Gurjinder. picked up yet again by Malak Singh. Has won a free hit. Greg Clark making all his calculations and considering the next few changes, but must be said, the combination out there right now proving to be quite effective for him. Mandeep unable to keep this ball in play.
You were saying about Pradeep Moore seeing a lot of the ball. What the Indians are doing is that they play the overlap by the left and right defenders, and when they do that, the midfielders hold back, so they always have a secure defense. The important thing is to get the width of the pitch and get width in attack, so that's why the right and left defenders move into attack.
The last nudge there coming off an Indian stick, Prabdeep Singh. And again, we'll send this out. India, though, need to be careful not to concede a second one the way that they did the first. Just found themselves caught napped. With a little under 14 minutes left in this first half. We'll want to finish this first session of 35 minutes on a high. Pepin Lewix looking to move forward with the ball. Nicholas Laish. It's this short corner. And they make the most of these opportunities now. The rare opportunities when they've strung a few passes together.
Well, you know, when they play the ball all the way back and switch the game to the other side, it's basically changing the point of attack and trying to create space for a long hit to come inside. Rotating, finding a player. It only happens if you can switch the game and change the point of attack.
I say the Dutch management will be quite pleased with what has transpired thus far. It is 1-1 and playing away against India with the crowd behind their back. The youngsters have given a pretty decent account of themselves. Are looking to move forward, but this was a brave bit of defending, eventually getting the ball away. But danger still not cleared. Shooting opportunity just fizzes past the goal.
Well, it was a great opportunism by the Dutch. Brinkman, Thierry Brinkman. But I think Harjot had his angles covered.
Long ball, half stop, eventually stopped effectively by the skipper himself. Boventeert. Gets a second bite of the cherry. One of the taller players in this Dutch team. In fact, a team which on the whole has that aura of physicality about itself. Lots of tall players, if not the burliest in the competition perhaps. Australia certainly today look like they have a very physical side in the competition. In fact, not too many teams which can out-muscle Argentina, but they did that quite convincingly today.
Well, they played the normal game of fast hockey, and as aggressive as they could be, and they capitalized on their chances. They actually broke the Argentine backbone in 3 minutes. The question of 3 minutes, where they scored 3 goals.
Yes, when Argentina go back to the drawing board, they will reflect on those 3 minutes of madness that virtually killed off the game as a contest. India with more circle penetrations, also 3 times as many shots, but tells you that it's been a very tight first half, not much in it. The Netherlands have made the most of the only shot that they got on target. And get better as a conversion rate than that. Once again looking to move forward with flanks being switched. Some tense moments for the defense. Oh, well done by Harjot, but the follow-up shot is inside. There we go, Netherlands reclaim the lead. And it's a fantastic finish in the end. Take a bow, Mark Rikers.
It was a great hit into the circle. Again, Amit Rohidas did a great job of halting that ball. Ball fired into the circle. Harjot makes a great save. but the ball comes back for a defender. Comes off a defender, comes on to Mark Rikers, who just smashes the ball into the circle in a jiffy. But you know, this is what the Dutch do. They create half chances and they convert these half chances. They don't have many people up front. They don't have push up too many people. But when they have a chance or a half chance, they capitalize it and make best of it, most of it.
Absolutely. We just showed you that stat not so long before the goal. One shot and one goal, and now 2 shots and 2 goals. So even though there was a stop before that from Harjot, the Indians are definitely still playing catch-up hockey in this match. And each time they look like they're just getting into a little bit of a comfortable position. It's Netherlands who are pulling away. Excellent game of hockey that we are witnessing at the moment at the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium. Manjeet Singh with the ambitious long ball. Was looking for his teammate Harjeet down the left. Mandeep also wasn't too far away from the action. Still far from over this match as a contest, but at the moment Netherlands looking quite comfortable. Happy to move forward, as you mentioned, Cedric, making the most of every half opportunity that they get.
Well, I think the most important thing what they're doing is they're switching the game. And because they're switching the game, they're finding the spaces that they can penetrate. The transfer from the midfield to the strikers is really good. The ball speed is really good. And if you look at it, you'll find a lot of help coming from the help side and towards the ball side.
Also reflected accurately in the scoreline. Can they get the third here? Once again, moving forward in good numbers. Four shots just at the edge, on inside the box. This has fallen free. Another shot, another save, and a follow-up. Once again inside. And it's the man who got the first goal. He's added a second for the night. Milan van Baal has made it 3-1 at the moment. Dramatic turn of events at the National Stadium. Fell free far too many times, and in the end, a very, very easy put away. The initial shot coming in from Hiebendal.
The good thing about it was he didn't swing his stick. He just waited and tapped the ball over. The goalkeeper was rushing down to close him down. If you look at this game at the moment, you look at Netherlands, it's all about half chances, all about keeping the defense secure and just basically looking for a half chance, using the width of the pitch, finding their players, keeping possession as much as possible, and not allowing India too much space.
Well, what this scoreline has definitely done is gotten the crowd out of the equation. They were quite vociferous to begin with. And every time they've begun believing about India's supremacy, the Netherlands have come right back into it. And these last 2 goals have really given the Indians a lot to think about, a lot of work to do to get back into this match. Forget about winning it. To even pick up a point from here, they'll need to score at least 2 and keep Netherlands down to no further goals. Not impossible, but certainly does look like a difficult task, but something that this Indian team is quite capable of pulling off. Akashdeep was looking to move forward, but had already been a free hit given.
There's a big reputation on Ramandeep. I like to see him do a little more running. He's being too passive and too stationary.
This is another delightful little movement from the Dutch team. And clever play in the end. Very, very clever play.
Very good play, because what he did was he moved to the circle and he found Kotajit already committing himself and just put the ball on his foot because he knew he couldn't break through. And that's a penalty corner for Netherlands.
The man initiating all of this movement was Yele Galima. the only player in this current lineup who is a member of the senior Netherlands side. Was part of the European Hockey Nations Championships, where Netherlands finished third. That was held in Boom in Belgium. So Netherlands will have their first penalty corner. Let's see how much of an impact they can make with that.
Well, it's Bram Groosen who's going to take this flick. I was watching him during the training. He's not a bad flicker.
Van Groosen with the shot. No goals, but some anxious moments nevertheless for the Indian defense. But this man has definitely made the Indians bleed after he himself got a little bit of a shocker. Stick in the face does happen sometimes in this game of hockey. Inadvertent, but does hurt, and in fact did split him open, but he's come right back and now split open the scoreline in favor of his team.
Well, his penalty corner flick was not that hard because the acceleration of the drag wasn't there. The most important thing is the acceleration of the drag and the width on the flick. And the drag was a bit slow and was charged on by the Indian defense. You know, you haven't seen much of a press in by both teams. They're just playing the three-quarter, holding back. It's not a half court yet, but it's just holding back. There's no, you know, you normally alternate the press. Sometimes you go full press, sometimes you go three-quarters, sometimes you go half court. But in this game, neither team is doing it because they know that the counters are very fast, so they're just holding back.
Gurjinder, the lone Indian goal scorer on the night, finding this ball through. Malak Singh on to Ramandeep. Ramandeep unable to hold on possession long enough. Now here come the Dutchmen once again, the Flying Dutchman. Galima was already shown that he's got a major impact to bear on this game with his experience.
You look at it, every time they get the ball down the flanks, down the channels, it's basically because the strikers are pulling inside, deep inside, and then when the ball is played down the channels, they pick it up on the wides.
Beg your pardon, that was Thierry Brinkman. Once again, moving forward in numbers. Dispossessed. Imran. Manpreet, he's been a slightly quiet presence in this first half thus far. Somebody who's capable of playing pretty much every role down the pitch, but been a slightly subdued defensive midfielder. The crowd get excited, but well, there was no contact on its way to the goal. And they were close there. A couple of Indians, including Malak Singh, very close to the action.
Well, Gurjinder has got a fantastic power drag, basically. And if you look at it, he gets these long penetrative balls into the circle. A couple of it more, and you know, India's got a chance of getting a goal back. They need to get one back now and get back into the game. Lovely aerial ball again.
Very nicely received too. Pradeep Moore gets into attack as well. Has been a very, very solid presence in defense and in midfield. For the first time moving right up to the other end of the pitch. Closing moments of the first half, India throwing everything at their opponents, but this time Imran will have to restart from this position. On to Mandeep.
India has to be patient. You know, they're 3-1 down, but they've got to be patient. They've got to keep to the game. They've got to keep to the game plan.
Stealing the ball. Going against the clock pretty much. Fight against time, because it does look like this first half will end with the Netherlands very much in the ascendancy. Can they widen the margin with the last move of this first half? Exquisite skill. Oh, a rasping shot. Not too far away from the goal. It was the captain, Owen Dead.
Well, a lovely try. He took he took Gurjinder on the turn, and it was a nice hit, but just far outside the post. A lovely try.
So the Dutchmen finishing the first half the way they pretty much began it, on the upswing. They scored in the 3rd minute through Milan van Baal. Then India equalized through Gurjinder Singh's penalty corner conversion in the 13th minute. But then Mark Rikers with the 2nd goal, and inside 3 minutes Milan van Baal getting his 2nd of the night and putting Netherlands into a very useful position at the half-time break at the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium. So the predominantly Indian supportive crowd who will be looking for their heroes to come back and come up with a good performance in the second half. After the first 35 minutes, the scoreline is 3-1 in favor of Netherlands. There are times when I can't find my voice. Then it's worse if both are looking for their voice. after the first 35 minutes at the Hero Junior World Cup between Netherlands and India. This match poised nicely in favor of Netherlands. Their senior pros coming to the party today. 20-year-old Milan van Baal doing well with 2 goals, and Mark Rijkers, 21 years of age, doing enough to not only cancel out a Gurjinder Singh strike but also give their team a little bit of an advantage. The first half got off on absolutely the perfect start possible for Netherlands. Moving forward, and what a role has been played by number 20, Tom Hebendahl. Just stealing that ball, sneaking it in with all the attentions of the defense focused on him, and finding a relatively unmarked Milan van Baal, who was quite quick to finish it off. This was the Indian riposte though. Gurjinder Singh with a fierce strike, ferocious penalty corner conversion, which he's known for. That rag flick bringing India back on even terms, but then this happened. The first attempt coming in from Rick Pankan, which was nicely dealt with by Harjot Singh. But lurking just alongside him was Mark Rijkers, and did an outstanding job, the number 16 jersey for the Netherlands. And soon after, yet again, on the second attempt. The first attempt saved by Harjot. Once again, the man at the center of things was Hebendahl. And the easiest of tap-ins for Milan van Baal will be reflected, of course, in the statistics as well, where Netherlands are quite decisively ahead. And do let us know what you think about what's going on here. Connect with us on Facebook. We are at FIH Hockey. On Twitter, we are at FIH_hockey. Let us know what's happening in this game as well. You can write into us with that hashtag HJWC. Very, very close in terms of all numbers. 8 to 6 circle penetrations, 6 to 3 shots. And Netherlands, I suppose, have made it count on the night. 3 goals from 6 shots. And a little bit of greater possession in the opponent's half, which has worked well for them. Only 3 penalty corners in all, and only that 1 conversion from Gurjinder Singh. So do tweet to us, do send in your tweets, and make sure you hashtag them with HJWC, and that will just make it easier for us to sort and let us know your thoughts about what's going on. It's only the first day of the Junior World Cup, still lots of hockey to be played. Cedric D'Souza still alongside me in the commentary box, and Cedric, all set for what should be a thrilling second half, provided though the Indians can raise up their game a notch or two.
Well, I think the Indians have to continue with the game plan. They're playing too one-dimensional. They got to get into the lines of the Dutch and not get caught in the channels. The other thing they got to do is not, in the defense they got caught. They were caught napping because they were holding back and pushing back instead of not. One player has to move forward and meet the opposition, but the others go man to man and mark the players. They were caught napping in that too. And last but not least, they got to wait patiently in their build-up, rotate the ball as much as possible in near the 50-yard line, and then hit these long balls. You got Gurjinder who can hit his long ball into the circle. You've got great carriers of the ball like with Manpreet and with even Imran who can move the ball quickly. So I think India has to make sure that they don't get caught in a one-dimensional play.
Won't be any shortage of support, that's for sure. But showed some bright sparks in that first half. The likes of Akashdeep moving forward, Imran, as you mentioned, Mandeep Singh when he gets on the ball, Malak Singh, they can all be quite effective. And yes, definitely looking for a bigger contribution from their ace striker, Ramandeep Singh. But somebody who normally is dependent a lot on good deliveries to him. Number 31 that you just got a glimpse of a while ago. But the Netherlands will be quite pleased with the way things have happened thus far. They got that early goal in, and by and large, barring that 1 penalty corner conversion that they had to endure, they've been pretty much in control in these first 35 minutes.
Well, if you look at the stats, the possession in the opposition 1/3 is the Dutch 56 to 44. So you can see right away there's a difference there. You come back to one point, yeah. They basically are very good in the opposition third. They get half chances and they convert them. They don't, even the third goal, if you look at it, the ball was hit from top of the circle. It wasn't a wild swing. It was just a tap into the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper patted the ball, and then the guy just lifts the ball over the goalkeeper into the goal. presence of mind, that's what I was looking for.
Presence of mind could take India through, but it will be very difficult against a methodical and calculative Netherlands, as Cedric mentions. Second half underway. India playing in white, going from left to right this time around. And as a result, not surprisingly, Netherlands in orange will be going from right to left. India looking to get as many men on the attack as possible early on.
Well, India started with the press. You can see it right away. They are 3-1 down, and they said, hey, okay, let's get into our act and let's move the ball, move and put pressure on the Dutch defense.
Yes, virtually through this first minute, it's been Prabdeep Singh as the lone sweeper, as everybody alongside him moves forward, looks to get into the attack. So that's a sign of things to come from the Indians. Sukhmanjit on to Kothajit. Coming forward is Imran Khan. Somebody who's had a perfect impact in terms of the running that he's done, but just not being able to find the right passes once he gets into good positions. Just a little agricultural there from Amit Rohidas, getting his body behind and effectively in the way of the Netherlands striker moving up front.
Well, that was a good ploy because he broke the movement, he broke the entire thing, and he gave time for his defense to regroup.
Some tense faces for sure. That's right up front. Harjeet Singh, who had a little bit of an opportunity early on in the first half. Another one of those slippery customers who can find himself in a very good position in the opponent's half without them quite realizing it. Oh, this has been nicely slipped through and picked up too by Satbir Singh. Getting some support yet again from Imran. All the way back to Kothajit. Now Sukhmanjit. On to the Manipuri once again. From the northeastern reaches of India, which has produced a few good hockey players in recent years. But Punjab has been the nursery, the hotbed. And these two young Punjabis will also hopefully be inspired to someday represent India, not only in this Junior Hockey World Cup, but also in the senior.
We were also talking about in the first half about Manpreet not playing his normal game, or he looks pedestrian basically. But you know what is happening? He's been playing man to man. He's been caught man to man completely by Van Puffelen. Every time India has the ball, you can be sure there's number 15 of the Dutch, Van Puffelen, standing next to Manpreet.
It really has been a masterclass. There he is on the ball, and Van Puffelen is right alongside him, making things difficult. There he goes, giving him no room to work with, and eventually has to squirt his shot wide. Perfect example of exactly what you talked about, Cedric. And that's why Netherlands must not be taken lightly by any comers, not just India, in this competition. As we mentioned right at the top of the telecast, not too much of experience in terms of international matches perhaps. But this is a good quality young side, no matter what side they put up on the pitch. Plenty of good method, plenty of organization about them. Tell you what, if Netherlands do go on to win this match, Cedric, then India have it all to do, because they will probably be favourites against Canada, but Korea could be a tricky customer on any given day.
Well, I think I won't open my mouth, because I think the first thing I said today was India going to be easy victors.
I wasn't going to bring that up this early in the telecast yet, Cedric, don't worry. But there's still some time to go, still over half an hour. But certainly at the moment, Netherlands looking very, very organized, very, very compact, defending well, marking well, as you mentioned, switching the play at ease, completely unruffled in their own half.
I think Greg Clark has told the Indian players about this long ball going down the line by the Dutch, and what's happening is I think they're playing zonal now, especially down the line, the left defender, so they can catch the long ball in the channel.
Slightly feeble attempt at a pass from Pradeep Moore, perhaps indicating that there's just a little bit of tiredness creeping into the Indian ranks. One would ideally not want that to be the scenario, because they do have a tough couple of opening days, don't they? Back-to-back matches, play Canada tomorrow at the same time at 8 p.m. And Greg Clark will be a slightly worried man at the moment, looking at the signs, early signs in this second half, where Netherlands are looking very, very fresh and really up for this challenge.
Another thing you see with the Netherlands is the fact that they can shield the ball very well.
Back to that in a minute, because this is an opportunity. Oh, he's just delayed it till the last second. Outstanding finish! What a finish that is! Whoa, my God! Akashdeep Singh with a touch of magic.
Well, if you look at it, you know, he beat the goalkeeper, came and closed him down, and he moved the ball right past the keeper. You look at it here, Ramandeep plays the ball to Akashdeep. Akashdeep goes down into the circle, he moves, feints to hit the ball inside, and then dives and hits the ball into the net, which is really, really great. There are two Dutch players running back, but they had absolutely no chance.
Well, the Netherlands have that organization, they have that science, but India have amazing individual ability. And that has what has come to the fore, at least in that second goal from the Indians. And that's enlivened this as a contest, because now with the scoreline 3-2 in favor of Netherlands, still anybody's game with 27 minutes, 28 minutes close to that still to go.
You know, Netherlands had a lot of play, and out of blue, India gets a chance and they score, and it just livens up the entire game. It brings the scoreline 3-2. And now you look at India, they've got spring in their step.
Manpreet has got the ball this time. He slipped this one through as well. Mandeep was looking for an opportunity, some room to create for himself. But was quickly closed down by the Dutch defense. Here they come now. Yele Galima this time.
Well, Harjot did well enough to come on top of the circle, because if he hadn't, then Lima had all the time in the world to take that shot at goal. He came out very well.
Slipping this one through for Fan Khan. End-to-end action at the moment. The Indians looking to attack. That's also opening up scoring opportunities if they are alert to it. For the Dutch, oh, this time yet again, just at the edge of the circle. Satbir Singh, a very, very hard-working player on the Indian ranks, has won a free hit for his team. This time just gets a little lost in the maze of sticks, and will give a welcome relief to the Dutch, who have been under the cosh the last few minutes, starting from that spectacular finish from Akashdeep. Oh, that's beautifully worked by the Dutch, but a very acute angle to try and exploit. Looking for his hat-trick is Milan van Baal.
Well, a good movement, you know, as you say, they're looking for the through ball. There was a late lead by Milan, and well, you know, he made a hash of it in the line, basically, but just too far, just too deep.
Sukhmanjit. The last time these two teams met in the Junior Hockey World Cup, the scoreline was exactly the same. Netherlands emerging winners by 3-2. There was a hat-trick on that night in Singapore for Mink van der Weerden, who since has gone on to represent the senior side with distinction. Oh, this is lovely skills. Almost finished off as well. Leon Hemminga was making it look like a walk in the park. He almost picked the ball up on one hand and nicely walked through the Indian defense before he ran into Harjot.
Well, you know, it was a great play by the Dutch. He lifted the ball up and it was nice. It was very tricky because Harjot stood on his angle and got the ball into his pads.
Enforced.
You know, if you look at what happened in the last movement, he comes into the circle. He lifts the ball up because there was nobody in his vicinity for dangerous play and tries to tap it over the goalkeeper. But Harjot stood his ground and made a great save. You know, the last World Cup, India were 9th and the Netherlands were 2nd. But it doesn't mean anything because today it's all about form.
So these two teams is going to start off with a bang, or indeed it could turn out to be a draw. A very honorable result given the fact that India perhaps would have come in fancying their chances, but Netherlands have been excellent right from the first minute. It's taken two pieces of exquisite skill from the Indians to unlock the scoreline. The Gurjinder Singh drag flick and then tomahawk from a very difficult angle, very acute angle taken by Akashdeep. Van Puffelen has been excellent with his defensive duties today. Unable to break through though, and that's why the Dutch have to build all the way back to their defense.
Well, that's the way it should be done because, you know, you're talking about textbook hockey where when you can't penetrate, you don't lose possession. You keep the ball, you keep possession, you rotate the ball in your defense. Even if it means going all the way back.
Couldn't quite keep control of that on that occasion was Luiks. But the Dutch showing that they're not fazed by that goal. They're still looking to get forward as much as possible. And keeping their wits about themselves, as you mentioned. When they can't find a way through, they're quite happy to retain possession, take it all the way back. Making sure that they don't give Indians too much of possession in this match. Oh, this one was hit through and there were a couple of players waiting for it. Kalema with the initial shot. And it looked like Luiks was waiting for his teammate at the back.
Well, you know, the Dutch have another thing which they hit past the defender's left foot. And if you look at this hit, it was right through the defense. And two Dutch players, one on the forehand, one on the reverse, missed the ball. Otherwise, it would have been a deflection ball into the goal.
This has been slipped through quite usefully for the goal scorer, the second goal for Netherlands, Rijkers. Does win his team a short corner. One thing's for sure, they are definitely laying down the marker as one of the teams to beat in this competition. The opening day of the FIH Hero Hockey Junior World Cup. Some unexpected results and some tremendous displays that we have seen right through the day. It has been a fabulous opening day and the action will only continue over the next 9 days. Long ball intercepted with a lot of ease by the Dutchman once again, looking to move forward now. Van Puffelen was looking for a rare foray up front himself. Indians must be careful in these situations now with the Dutch having possession near their goal mark. As we have seen already in this match, they are experts at switching from a midfield position to an attacking position. Balwinder. Very close in terms of possession percentage in the opposition half. And neck to neck in circle penetrations too. So all these stats suggesting that this match has been every bit as close as what the scoreline seems to suggest. 3-2 in favor of Netherlands, but India with a slightly brighter performance in the second half. Thus far haven't conceded and have pulled that one goal back. Captain Van Bovendert.
Well, it was not a bad movement because he ran into space and the ball was played between both the Indian defenders. He picked up the ball, went down the flank, but his reverse hit shot was too dangerous and he's pulled up for it.
It's interesting, but I'm pretty sure that neither of the two captains, Cedric, have left the pitch for even a single second in this match. So Manpreet Singh and Bovendert, obviously very, very important pieces in this on this chessboard for their respective coaches.
Well, you know, it's normally you don't play 70 minutes. You know, you just try it because you need fresh legs.
Something that we've seen in the senior team in recent years with Sardar Singh. He is often kept on for as long as possible by his coaches.
Well, I think that's going to change now. As far as I'm concerned, you know, since I've taken over Delhi Wave Riders, you can be sure that he's not going to be playing 70 minutes.
Yet again, I can assure you, sir, I wasn't really driving towards that. But, well, straight off the horse's mouth. Halfway through this second half, India have got that one goal back, but can they find a second? No, this one went through quite dangerously, but thankfully for Netherlands, no harm done.
Well, it was a great lead by Ramandeep because he was trying to come back into the circle, deflect that ball. You see, he was being marked and he ran towards the ball for a deflection, which was really good.
Thankfully from the Dutch perspective, coming off a stick and not a foot, just at the edge of the circle. Gurjinder with a missed pass, not happy with himself, but it has effectively given possession away to Netherlands. Also been a free hit now. It's been clever play by the Indian defender Surinder Kumar, making sure that he broke the play down. Ramandeep was agonizingly close to that ball. That's good to see. Forward working hard for everything that he's got. Useful pass in, it's not been cleared completely. Oh, it's dangerously close to the Dutch players up front, but eventually rolls over harmlessly.
Well, that was the first time you see a Dutch full chance or a half chance being missed completely. They've taken their chances in the first half. It was a good turnaround, a good loop.
In the end, it was too far from Bovendert and too close to Galima. As a result, the latter had to go chasing after it. It just couldn't keep it back in play. So some anxious moments for the Indian defense, for Greg Clark as well. Even a point out of this match will be invaluable because one gets the impression that these are the two teams which, with all due respect to Korea, could be fighting for top honors in this group. Remember, the top two teams from each pool going through for the quarterfinals. And of course, the remaining also are playing their classification matches, but really what is of interest will be to get through to that knockout stage. And from there on in, the coveted silverware is just 3 matches away. 1 quarterfinal, 1 semi-final and 1 final victory later. One of these 16 teams will be crowned champions of the Hero Hockey Junior World Cup 2013. Malak Singh has just gone a little bit quiet in the second half, hasn't been used for a long spell of it, in fact. Rather was looking to just gain a little bit of advantage, but wasn't forthcoming. Now here's the Indian skipper.
Manpreet trying his best to try and get a penalty corner.
Yes, this time, for a change, it wasn't Man Puffle. That role was given over to Tom Hebendal. Oh, just at the edge of the box. Can they win this ball in? That doesn't happen, unfortunately. The free hit has gone to India. So Netherlands, a few anxious moments here, Cedric. You would think that perhaps there could be a goal for India in the mix, the way things are moving along at the moment.
Well, I think the Netherlands are under pressure at the moment because of India pushing up into attack. But the thing is that you're finding India playing sporadic movements. They're not actually a concerted, combined movement like what they're capable of playing actually. And that goes because of the Netherlands, because they're playing their four-man defense, not allowing them too much space.
And you can sense the urgency from them. Now that they got the ball, they're just like looking to get rid of it as quickly as possible. A rare error from Van Baal. Man with the 2 goals for the night.
Devan, I think the coaches have heard you because both the skippers are out of the pitch at the moment, just taking a breather.
Yes, a look around the pitch, and it does seem that both Manpreet and that's also Gurjinder taking a bit of a break, and his opposite number Roel Poventer. Of course, these are very pleasant conditions for hockey, but it is an exacting game, and you would want to keep some energy for a final burst. Is that final burst coming in here from the Indians? Just a little over 13 minutes in this match left now. Yale Galima, who's been a hugely inspirational figure since coming on. Doing well to manufacture what can be another chance now for the Dutch. Short corner to be taken by Rick Van Kaan. Nicely done by Akashdeep, but unable to carry up with that momentum was Prabdeep. Still possession with the Indians as Harjeet comes forward. He's had a lot of the action following him. There's the captain of Netherlands. A bit of a breather. Might be called upon at some stage, especially if the Indians can find a goal here. It might set a little bit of panic amongst the Dutch ranks for the last 10 minutes or so. Both teams are showing a lot of intent, but of late the zip has been missing, because it must be said the first 60 minutes of this have been played at an unbelievable pace. As a result, a lot of players finding themselves running out of steam at the moment.
Well, I think the first half was a lightning speed, and I think both the coaches have decided that stick to the game plan and stick to holding possession as much as possible, and then playing on the break or playing whenever possible in terms of counter attacks. So that's why you find that the pace is, because both teams are trying to keep possession as much as possible in their own halves.
This has been picked up nicely by Prabdeep. Got some support down the left, but that's where he was looking to go for Imran. stick tangle, and that will result in a card. I'm sure it's a green card. And it's Pravdeep who will be sent to the sin bin. So another little disadvantage here for the Indians without Pravdeep for the next 2 minutes. Just the kind of reprieve, Cedric, which Netherlands would have wanted. They can now control the pace of these last 10 minutes.
Well, you know, they can't be too complacent because they know that India is very, very, very strong in terms of the break and the counter-attack.
What a dramatic first day that we've had at the Hero Hockey Junior World Cup. Close to 10 minutes still to go. Netherlands leading by 3 goals to 2. Scored all their goals in the first half. So Indians have come out a little bit more positive in the second, but one more goal could just decisively shut India out of this contest. And that's why Netherlands are pushing forward with some intensity at the moment. Tekin Luiks coming forward once again. Oh, it's the captain, and it's Harjot right in the middle of all things. A couple of Dutch shots around him, making things difficult, but eventually the Indians come away with the ball. And there has been just another injury and another yellow card this time. So Mandeep Singh will have to spend at least 5 minutes away. And that's another massive blow for the Indians.
Well, if you look at it, you know, he raised his stick over the face of the Dutch defender.
That is not a physics. Okay? It is a yellow card. Yes. Yes. Okay. Look there. Yeah. Pick up. We're going this way. Okay.
So we could hear the umpire there referring why he gave that yellow card. There's confirmation. What did you think of that, Cedric?
Well, you know, it was not intentionally done, but what is the habit in Indian hockey is that you raise your stick over the opposition player. Look at it now, he raises his stick to go for the ball, and then that's when the stick hits the face of Rikers.
This might well have been inadvertent, but it was right in front of Tim Pullman.
You know, in Germany, if any player plays the stick over the opposition, it's a foul immediately. Even if you don't touch the player, they're so careful about dangerous play. They're so careful about not hurting the opposition or hurting any players. You know, the sport is very fast. The game is very fast. So they try as much as possible to keep it as less dangerous as possible.
Indeed, this is the 4th match that we are watching. There have been 8 overall. The 8th one is in progress between England and South Africa. There have been some dramatic moments where the officiating has had to be very, very correct. This time around, the goalkeeping had to be correct, and it was perfectly done by Piet Noordan. Amandeep Singh once again showing why he's such a dangerous customer. Danger still not averted. Might still fall for the Indians. The captain back on the pitch, Manpreet Singh. Wins a free hit for his team. This has been slapped through. It wasn't too far away.
Well, the whistle was already blown because of dangerous play. Was a rasping center by Pradeep Moore.
Will be just another chance for the Indians to pile some pressure on. If they can get a goal here, we did talk about it in the previous match when Pakistan were taking on Egypt. As soon as goals were scored and parity was restored, there was a frantic pace about the game. So if the Indians can find their third goal, this will make for a very, very fascinating finish to this match. Not if the Dutch can have anything to do with it. This is that man again. Leicht has been very, very good, but this time around hitting it from outside, and Harjot has nothing to do with it.
Well, it was a foot by the Indians, and so they've got possession still.
This was that earlier chance.
Well, the ball deflected off a Dutch player, and Malak was on the far post. You know, if he'd got the ball in the goal, well, there was going to be a chance.
Ramandeep Singh, had he come to the party a bit too late, he's just been substituted. Talvinder has come onto the pitch in his place. Fresh legs will help. Gurjinder will once again send in that trademark long ball of his. It's been nicely received by Pradeep Moore. Gets the right kind of support from Talvinder too. Stolen by the Dutch. Bovendert. Lovely long ball. Could this be the opening here for Van Puffelen? Good play, and Brinkman almost making this the fourth goal.
Well, it was a great change of direction from the right to the left, and well, you know, it actually felt badly for the Dutch. You know, although I'm Indian, you know. I say that.
The last couple of minutes just been a little bit tardy from both teams. A few long balls which have been flying about. Once again picked up by the Dutch. This is ideally where they would want to have possession now in the Indian side of the pitch with 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes now to go. Nicholas Leish. Fabulous performance this has been from the young Dutch squad. Getting to the point now, Cedric, that the best that the Indians can probably hope for from here on in is a point. That will be a massive endorsement of how well Dutch have played.
Well, it's still 3.5 minutes of play left. You never can tell, you know, you can get 2 goals in the last 3.5 minutes. You never know. There's some sustained pressure by the Indians now.
Once again, will be a free hit for India in a pretty advantageous position. A bit of jostling going on inside between Akash Deep and Thomas van Doorn. The Dutch need to be careful. It wasn't too far away, was it, from the players at the edge of the post?
Well, it was a nice sweep from the top, from the just over 25-yard line, and Gurjinder is showing a lot of power in this sweep and his drags, you know. we look at it here, it's a great sweep. And they got Ramandeep who misses the ball completely. And in the far post, I think it was Pradeep Moore who missed that ball too.
Getting ever so closer now. Netherlands will believe that they have those 3 points in the bag. Never say never, of course, in sport, but with just over 2 minutes left, this is where they would want to keep the ball in possession and in the Indian half. Well, we talked about the 3 minutes of madness which cost the match for Argentina. One would have to think something similar here for the Indians as well. That goal from Mark Rijkers came in the 25th minute, and then in the 28th minute, the second goal from Milan van Baal, which effectively put Netherlands 2 goals ahead, and that cushion has served them well in this anxious second half.
Well, I was hoping for a madness for the Netherlands by the Dutch now, so India can get the goals back.
It's a long event, Cedric. You'll get your chance, don't worry.
And it's good to see that the Indians have pushed more players up front and looking for space.
Talking with David on commentary earlier, asking him the question about whether as a team you would want to play your toughest match first or possibly one of your softer games. And he really couldn't come up with an answer in the sense he was not sure about whether it's good or bad. From that perspective, maybe it's the best thing for India to have played Netherlands first.
Well, I think that's the way of putting it. But you know, any team plays its best team in the beginning itself to get into a winning formation, get into winning form, as well as to get the rhythm of the play.
Less than a minute now. The Dutch can feel it. The Indians just getting a little over anxious at the moment.
Instigated this. All right, no more. Here.
Well, there's a half a minute left, and hopefully India gets one chance in that half a minute. Well, again you can see that the stick was thrown up in the air. A harsh tackle.
No.
He got the ball. He stole the ball.
Yeah.
But then he just lifted the stick almost onto the face of the Dutch player.
Well, this is going nowhere from the Indian perspective at the moment. If anything, the errors are creeping in further. Latest suspension being of Sadbir. And they have done it. The runners-up of 2009 have come up with a masterclass today, because it hasn't been their most fluent performance. It hasn't really been a classic Dutch performance, but they've just done enough. And that often is a sign of a good side. That even when they've not played at their best, but they've done enough with the opportunities they've got. And a special shout out to the man, number 11, Milan van Baal, with 2 goals. 1 goal for Mark Rijkers. Greg Clark not happy with some of the decisions made, especially late towards that second half, because the Indians were looking like they were getting back into the groove. Got that first goal from Gurjinder Singh in the first half, and then that second goal coming in from Akashdeep Singh. Fabulous solo effort in the 42nd minute. But by and large, this man has been outstanding today, even though he has that little bruise and a cut on his forehead to show for it. But he'll be quite pleased with the way that things have transpired for his side. Still some words being said, but this is how this Pool C encounter has finished in the Hero Junior World Cup. Netherlands 3, India 2.